those who don't know my approach to the market when it comes to the market, like I said in the previous videos, I'll start doing a little bit more breaking down of my trades, you know, just for those persons coming over to the YouTube from the beginners group on Telegram. Yeah, you can get to actually see the process behind it. So first thing I do when I come to the market or the charts in the morning, or old low being broken, and then the low or high that was farmed before that old high or low was broken being broken in the opposite direction impulsively with a full candle close. With trading, it becomes easier when you have a system, because you begin to understand when you lose why you lost, rather than just trading randomly. You know, you're entering random positions, you're trading random instruments, you're trading at random times, you're using random confirmation. When you lose, because trading is not guaranteed no matter what you do, when you lose, you won't be able to tell why you lost. Welcome back to another video. Yeah, see what's going on. First of all, before we even get too far into this, welcome back for those who, you know, returning, and for those who new, welcome to the channel. Hit the like button and subscribe while you're at it before we go further. But yeah, see what's going on at the back there right now. Yep, I got that shit print, laminated, and framed, because we taking shit serious. I also got the My Forex Funds one. Hold on, let me show you that. Got them all locked away and shit like a, you know, like a official. Okay, so we got the funded next. Sorry, we got My Forex Funds. I'm about to go collect an FTMO and possibly 5%ers, because they're the most popular and reputable prop firms that we have in the Forex space. So I just want to have some certification from them. Anywho, let's see what's going on with this game. He's by charts. I don't know why, I just feeling the energy today. See, y'all getting back the energy. We back on this bullshit, bro. We back on the bullshit. So yesterday we had a trade. I didn't get a chance to actually open the camera and give y'all an update as to, you know, why we took the order, when we took the order, and what was the parameters of that order. Long story short, I opened this trade and had to go downtown. I was in town and all this shit happened. By the way, this TP got hit within a minute, but you see, the I want to call it messed up part about this particular trade, I could have gotten all the way up here even, right? Because for some reason I start trading without a take profit. I have a stop loss, like I for sure have a stop loss. You know, I'm gonna manage risk regardless. But the take profit side of things is like, sometimes I set a take profit and then price just tip it and reverse. Other times I set a take profit and price just completely disregard it, just go 2-3 times beyond the distance I was aiming for. And you know, I did some thinking and I thought maybe I could start trading without a take profit. Dumb. And now, you know, I'm able to see why. Because yesterday, instead of being able to have this 108 point or pip or whatever move, or even up here at this 203 pip move, I got out like here when the price was already coming back down to reverse. And you know, the community, I sent it out to the community, I sent it out with the parameters and everything, you know, the take profit, your stop loss, everything in there. So everybody else set their take profit, and that's the way I teach. I always teach using a take profit and stop loss. It's just, you know, you try a thing new, you see little extra profits, and you just gotta learn. You just gotta learn the hard way. Anywho, it is currently Thursday, the 19th of September. Boy, oh boy. I would wait till the plane gone, but now remember, y'all is, you know, the OGs. Y'all accustomed to loud noise and shit in the background, so me skipping shit. After this price did all this bullshit, I got out with a little bit of profit, not as much as profit as I could have gotten out of this trade, but still thankful regardless. Then price came down, took where would have been my stop loss, and then, you know, double the distance that it went yesterday. So my outlook yesterday was bullish. Today it's more than likely still bullish. For those who don't know my approach to the market when it comes to the market, like I said in the previous videos, I'll start doing a little bit more breaking down of my trades, you know, just for those persons coming over to the YouTube from the beginners group on Telegram. Yeah, you can get to actually see the process behind it. So first thing I do when I come to the market or the charts in the morning, trading, I like to open my charts, whichever instrument you're trading. For me, it would be NAS 100. It won't be GU and gold and EU. It especially won't be gold, but it's a conversation for another video. But yeah, I have my pair or my instrument that I'm trading, and now I select the chart that I want to view the information, so I'd be able to make a better decision based off of the information that I have. So first thing I do is go to the daily charts. On the daily charts, you can see here all of these candles just represent 1 day of movement in the price of NAS 100. So the gray ones represent bullish movement or movement to the upside, and I can say the darker gray the black ones represents movement to the downside or bearish movement. So the general idea for me on the daily is to see whether the previous days were, moving up or moving down, whichever trend or direction the market is in overall, right? Because I don't want to see a couple black candles or red candles for most persons, candles that going down. I don't want to see a set of that and then looking for buying opportunities. That won't make sense to me, because the market is the leader in this case. We don't lead the market leads us. We just follow, we just go along with the trend. Just like every other freaking YouTuber, I can tell you the trend is your friend until it's not. So utilize the trend, utilize the overall direction of the market, and try to capitalize along with its momentum. So after seeing the direction of the market, I can see here, all right, we have a few bullish candles, a few green ones going up, and you also combine this with the same basically the same analysis, the confirmations that you look for on the smaller time frame. You're not looking for an entry, but you are looking for the direction of the market, so you will know which direction you would like to have your entry, whether you would like to buy at a lower price or you would like to sell at a higher price. So also here on the daily, I can see that there was a high over here, a high in the past, this high right there, and I can see a fair value gap as well to the left. So these are two things that I can identify on the daily that might be some areas of interest for me moving forward. Now that I've seen what's going on the daily, I can see a high above here price might want to go to. There's also that fair value gap above there. There's a fair value gap below here where price left, so it's possible maybe you might want to see a little retracement into that fair value gap. I had this first, let me just extend the charts. So it was just I think it was 3 days ago now, where price was at this specific candle right here. Let me see if I could just mark it so you get this candle right here, right? And we had this fair value gap that was not touched as yet. That's why I have it marked up there. I have to actually delete these two. So we had this fair value gap, and we were also closing a gap on the left side of the chart. And for me, once a gap closes a gap, if you've been watching my videos, you know that I refer to that as an unfair value gap. So I saw it as though this fair value gap had broken a high. So highs and lows and fair value gaps, depending on the position, could be used interchangeably. So I used this fair value gap to the left as a high, and once price closed this fair value gap, any retracement into this fair value gap would be, to me, the same as if a fair value gap closed above a recent swing high, which would be one of the criteria for the whole ICT 2022 model. Yeah, I could use the fair value gap the same way. So I waited for a retracement, and this is all on the daily, right? I waited for a retracement into that fair value gap and wanted to then look for buying opportunities, because I understood that the daily is mostly bullish, we're mostly going to the upside, so I would like to go along with that momentum. So after the daily, I dropped down to the 4-hour chart, and I basically do the same analysis. I want to see which direction we are going. Do we have any highs and lows? Do we have any fair value gaps? Anything that might cause the price to change direction or react a certain way? I want to be aware of it, because every single swollen thing in the past will affect the future when it comes to the charts. So if there's something that you missed, it might be the determinant factor to whether you lose or win this trade. So yeah, I don't even know if that was a sentence. Yeah, I realize I be testing out the English language every now and again. I speak Creole. I start brawling like this. And yelling, I stand if I talk like this. Guys talk like this the whole video, and it must be about 5% the have that. So I try to slow it down. I try to use my British accent for you. I don't even know what the fuck is that. Anyhow, so we're on the 4 hour and we're basically doing the same thing. We can see the daily candle a little bit more, in a little bit more definition here. This 4 up close candle, I would assume. Yeah, the same from here. No, this is 10 o'clock yesterday. But half of this, and this, that's what make up the daily candle, because we're at 9 a.m. this morning. So you wouldn't see more than 2.5 4-hour candle, obviously 2.25. And on the 4-hour candle now, I can see that same daily candle that was pushing to the upside is now 3 candles, and the one in the middle has a fair value gap. So that's all supporting a move to the upside. So the different time frames, you know, supporting each other. They're saying the same thing, coinciding, if that's the correct word to put it. So not that much information that I can get off of the 4-hour, the daily, or what's not when it comes to entry, but when it comes to direction, when it comes to key points in the market, can't beat 4-hour and daily and hourly. So that's where we're going right now. We can drop down to the hourly and we can attempt to do the same thing. Now on the hourly, this is where we can actually start looking for entries, because this is a time frame that has a lot of weight. It can determine overall direction, and it can also give you that, you know, point of interest where you can enter the market. You see the daily candle and the 4-hourly candle in a lot more detail now. You can see the exact opening of today's price action, which would be this candle right here that I'm hovering over. Very, very small. You see at the bottom there is 19 September 00 o'clock. Yeah, 12. And from here going up, all these candles are the candles that farmed for the day. It's supposed to be 9 of them because we at 9 o'clock, and this is the hourly chart. So that's literally how it works. Now on the hourly, according to the strategy that I use, I love to see AMD, right? It's not something new, it's not something that was created. Anyone who knows the ICT 2022 model and maybe tweak it to make it your own, then you would be able to understand. But I look for AMD, any type of accumulation, manipulation, and distribution. And in this market right now, the only thing that I do not see is manipulation. I see accumulation. Like, to me, this price moving relatively sideways is the accumulation phase. However, the manipulation would mean an old high or old low being broken, and then the low or high that was farmed before that old high or low was broken being broken in the opposite direction impulsively with a full candle close. So if you can get up, slow it down, rewind it, bring it back again, or just keep watching the videos in the future where I'll keep doing the exact same thing, not deviating a single thing from the strategy, and listing out all of my confirmations for every single soul in trade I take. So we have accumulation, we do not have manipulation, but this side of the market right here kind of looks like distribution to me. The only downfall with all of this that would make it not fit my criteria to actually place a trade is the fact that we are not yet at 9:30 a.m. in the market. If we were there, then I'd be opening a trade. I probably would be in this trade right now, but since it's before 9:30, that's like kryptonite for me, bro. I do not, and I repeat, do not open a trade before 9:30. It has to say 9:31 the least. Like, even if it's 9:30 exact, I ain't opening a trade. I've been hurt too many times. I don't know what to believe. Anywho, so we're on the hourly, and if I'm being honest with you, if we had some type of like manipulation to the downside, meaning instead of just stopping right here, this price like took this one at least, or at least this one, you know, just do something like and then start going back up, or even better, take this one here and just touch this fair value gap right above this blue line right here, just like a and then start going up like this, and left all these fair value gaps still. What am I doing? All these fair value gaps, right? Like here, for example, it had this one here, then it retraced into it, so the thing no more, another one up here. It's like, and oh, there's another one right there too, but it already retraced into. Let me just extend it so you can see. Much better. Oh, right here. So you see that was a fair value gap as well, but they already get full. So all this confirmation, all this bullish movement, all this niceness, for others, they would be able to see an entry. They would be able to see a trade since 6 o'clock this morning and all. But here's the thing, they are following their system, and if it's somebody who's not following their own system, or at least a system that works for them, I don't want to bad talk anybody or anything, but it's highly unlikely that they're profitable. With trading, it becomes easier when you have a system, because you begin to understand when you lose why you lost, rather than just trading randomly. You know, you're entering random positions, you're trading random instruments, you're trading at random times, you're using random confirmations. when you lose, because trading is not guaranteed no matter what you do, when you lose, you won't be able to tell why you lost. You know, you won't be able to tell how you could improve, how you can improve on your results, because you have no system in place to perfect. You just, how could you perfect randomness? You understand? So even if you just create a random system on your own, like right now, you give yourself a couple rules. You don't want to trade on Wednesday, you don't want to trade in the morning, you don't want to trade at night, you don't want to trade in the afternoon, whatever it is that you create on your own, and just follow it. Document your results for about a month, and then you'd be able to see, okay, even though I don't want to do this, when I do this, I get this result. So maybe I should start doing this a little bit more. Maybe I should stop doing this one thing that gets me a result that I don't like, rather than you just going in at any time. So yeah, that's one of my rules, that whole 9:30. And it wasn't always 9:30, it was actually 8 at a point in time. But I stuck to that, you know, I stuck to that rule. Only 8 a.m. after 8 a.m. And before then it was at 4 a.m. You know, I used to actually wake up to catch London session and 3 a.m. and stuff like that. I don't want to trade during the day or during the afternoon or during the night. I only want to trade at London session and stuff. And it depends on which part of the world you are. But number one, London session is literally in the morning, 4 a.m. for me, 2 a.m. and everything. I gotta wake up, figure it out. So I don't know. But yeah, you develop your strategy, you stick to it, and as long as you take that systemic approach, you are going to see improvement, and you're going to get to that point where it's like it's easier to trade, because if you do lose, you have something to blame. That's number one, and it makes it easier for you to execute because you're just following these rules. Regardless of what your emotions are like or what the chart is doing, you have rules that you have to follow, and as long as you follow them, they just work out. So we're in the hourly here, and I won't be entering a trade, but just for the sake of, you know, giving you an idea of how I do my analysis, yeah, just for the sake of giving you an idea of how I do my analysis, another sentence that don't sound like a sentence. Let's drop down now from the hourly to the 15-minute. The 15-minute, we can see the exact same information here that we saw on the hourly. We had the same fair value gap, is what I actually wanted to talk about. This one right here, and this one right here as well. So on the hourly, we saw that small retracement, and right here as well. On the 15-minute, you are seeing the exact information, but just a little bit more detailed. And here you would be able to say, okay, instead of putting my stop loss all the way at the bottom here, let's say you saw this opportunity and you wanted to enter the trade here, right? You want to put your stop loss at the point where you're taking on as little as possible risk, but you're also allowing the trade or giving the trade enough room to breathe. The price is never gonna go all the way up or go all the way down. It always goes up and come down. So sometimes it'll be going up, and just at a certain point in the chart, it chooses to come down more than it went up. And if during that period you get taken out, then it'll look like, you know, price just took your stop loss and then choose to keep going higher, when instead all you needed to do was give the price enough room so it could retrace and then start pushing higher. So, but let's say in this case you just wanted to enter with minimal risk to you, right? To this position right here, we can do something like this, right? Even if you enter all the way at the top here, right, and you just want to risk right here, you see the difference with the 15 and the hourly is the 15 makes up the hourly, but you have more swings, more definition in price action, more fair value gaps, more highs, more lows. So instead of anchoring your stop loss all the way down here, because the trade does appear on the hourly, so you could have taken it off of the hourly, but you drop down to the 15-minute and you're able to see that there's another low right here that you can anchor your stop loss, or even below the low that started this push to the upside of the fair value gap. So it is enough room for the price to move, because as you see here, it came back down, right? But it didn't take this low, and you have, well, after trading and observing price movement, you will begin to notice certain things. You'll begin to notice which highs and lows should not be broken if price is still going to be moving in this direction. Like it's possible that a high or low could be broken and then price still choose to push in that direction, but there are certain highs and certain lows that if you're moving to the upside and price breaks this low, it's possible we have a market structure shift or change, and price might want to be, you know, pushing in the opposite direction. But that's something that comes with time. I can't just explain it to you right now and then you catch on. It's possible that you learn, but you just won't catch on after you can catch it by trading, just like me. ICT explained it as well, but I didn't understand until I started applying. So yeah, we can get to it though. Anyways, you entered there, stop loss below there, you're aiming for a positive positive risk to reward because negative don't make sense. I tried it, but if you want, you can try it as well. Everybody said the same thing, but hey, somehow all of these will be different, right? Yeah. Anywho, this would be the trade. This would be the simple parameters of the trade. You use the daily to see that we're bullish, we're going up. The 4-hour to also see that we're bullish, we're going up. You saw a little bit more definition. You saw fair value gaps. You saw highs and lows. You saw on the hourly we had fair value gap, highs and lows, and all these other niceness. You had accumulation. You had no manipulation, but you had a distribution leg in the market. It's also not 9:30 in the morning, so I wouldn't be taking this trade, but I hope you could see how using the different time frames along with the different confirmations that I look for in the market could be applied in order to gain an entry, or basically the entire trade. You know, you have the entry, you have the exit, you have your take profit, you have everything. So I don't want to bore you guys or anything like that, but I'm still going to be taking a trade in this video. So how long is this video? 40 minutes. All right, good. So I'm still going to be taking a trade in this video, and I'm going to come back and give you guys that update once I have that trade. But for right now, I don't have any trades. I'm just watching the market, just being an observer, and once I have it, I'm gonna enter it and come back and give you guys that update. Alright, so we're back, and I still haven't found any trades or anything. It's 20 minutes after 2 in the afternoon. So I've been studying. I didn't actually give y'all a breakdown of this trade that I took yesterday, and I didn't record anything. I didn't get a chance to record anything, but this trade was crazy. They had news yesterday and I didn't even know. I left home, I went to town, and boy oh boy, I mean, I was up in profit. I thought about, you know, bringing stop loss to break even, but I saw this 2 fair value gaps at the bottom here, and this whole period here I was in town. I actually got to the phone. I got a chance to, you know, go to the phone till here upon the retracement. And here's the messed up thing about this. It would have been beneficial if I went to the phone about like half an hour earlier, where price was like up here, because I don't know if I explained to y'all in a previous video already, but I start, you know, opening 2 positions, and sometimes one of the positions don't have a take profit. I just, you know, leave one open to run, and recently none of them start having take profit, and I just have this area marked up on the chart, so I know mentally, you know, once we get to the zone, depending on how price is looking, then I'd know whether I want to close it or not. The thing about it though is this candle here that hit take profit, if we zoom down to the 5 minute, and matter of fact even the 1 minute, you'd see it was just 1 minute that. And another thing, I keep left out things and telling you piece by piece, but I had 2 positions open. One of the positions I opened when I noticed the gap overlapping the gap on the higher time frame 5 and 15 at this section here, and then all these smaller gaps as well coming out to the smaller time frame, the slightest retracement after touching this gap. I entered one position, and then I had actually I entered that position a bit up here, yeah, and then I had a buy limit at 19,410, and I sent that one out to the group, but I entered this one on my own and sent the buy limit out to the group. So I was all this way up in profit, and you know, I left home, price came down and topped the buy limit, which I had a second order set, the same order that I sent out to the community as well, because can't tell people to take a trade that I don't take. So I had a second position that I was hoping that it come back and top me in, then come up. So it topped me in, and if I had the take profit set on both trades at the level, I would have been out with profit. Everybody got out with profit. People sending me the screenshots, profit, quick, literally 1 minute, a 1 minute trade for them. Like, who was at the charts watching a 1 minute trade? It's a little bit under 1 to 2, but you know, still good profits, and I was all this way up in profit. But I only got to the chart around like here when we were now retracing, breaking this low. So I closed off a little bit under the initial take profit area at 19.5. It was actually 19.515, but spread and everything would have pushed this up regardless. So it would have been in it. It would have been in the blues. I was still, you know, grateful that I got out with a little bit of profit. Wasn't as much profit as I could have gotten out if I was attentive to the charts. That's something that I, you know, took away from this trade specifically yesterday. If I'm going to be in a position where I have a stop loss, so I'm managing the risk, but I am not managing my take profit, the profit itself or the gains, then I need to be at the charts. I can't just load this thing. To me, the reason why I thought it was a good idea is the emotional part, where I can see this much in profit beyond my area where I think price is gonna go, and it's still going more in profit. I'm going to be thinking I should close, I should take this, I should, you know, be grateful or whatever the case is. But if I'm not there at the charts and then I come in at the end of the day, the price still has to get from point A to point B, and if it has to complete that range and it has to have pullbacks and it has to have a push in the same direction or whatever the case is, it's gonna do that without me in the trade or with me in the trade regardless. So if I'm not at the charts, I can't be emotionally attached or influenced to make a decision. So that's why I thought stepping away from the charts would be a good idea. But in hindsight, it's best to monitor the charts, try to control the way I react to the way the charts is making me feel, because I can't control the way the chart is making me feel, but I could control my actions. So, you know, just try to be an observer even when price is at the zone I think is gonna go to and I'm in profit, or near my stop loss. For me right now, closing a trade early isn't that much an issue. I know when to cut my losses short. I know, honestly, I've been working on the losses far more than I'm working on the take profit. So I'm grateful for this stage at where I'm at, working on the take profit, because I already got the losses down. Even on the multiple accounts, everybody else was profitable except me on the prop firm account, by the way. I said take profits on all the other accounts that I manage as well. So all of my personal accounts had take profit, but the prop firm account, no take profit. Anyways, since I don't have a trade for right now, I thought I should just give you guys a breakdown on how that trade went. Pretty quick trade for yesterday. I was looking forward to, since the price keep coming up, or to hit this daily fair value gap at 19,982, but we fell short a little bit and made a relatively equal high if we go back in time further enough. I'll go to the 1 hour so you can see it. But this morning in the chat room, one of the guys, Isaiah, he was looking for a sell at what was the price? I can't remember what was the price, but it was like early, around 10 something in the morning, 9 something, and I was telling him we should wait for at least a break above this area right here. It was 19,932. Yeah, that's price gonna get there. I think it was, hold on, let me confirm. Yeah, 19,856. Okay, so we were all the way down here, right? Yeah, it was like 9 something in the morning, right? So we were all the way down here and he was looking for a sell, but there was something in the past at 19,856 where I told him, you know, we still haven't touched theirs yet, so you might want to wait and see how price reacts once it gets to this area here, and then start looking for sells. If maybe once it gets to this area, we break this low that was formed before it got that area, and price broke up there impulsively, fair value gaps, and came back and retraced into that fair value gap and didn't break this low that was formed. So we have this push to the upside, but still I would still, you know, want to be looking for sells as long as we get to this area and we start to close with lower lows, especially this area. We could break this high right now and touch this hourly fair value gap, but then I would like to see an impulsive move to the downside. But if we don't do that today, then I'll probably have to give you guys an update on tomorrow, but I'll edit this video and get it released, so you know, just for the sake of being consistent, and I'll enter a trade if I see an opportunity later today and continue that video tomorrow as one complete video, so you'll be up to date and get all the trades that I take. So yeah, if you made it this far, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
Bye, have a great time.